Listen, we always love going on the road, amazing cities and ballparks and competition, and but there's no place like San Diego, and it's good to be here, and we're excited about being back in front of our fans. So it's great.
That was a good little tester coming out of the break. You got a 10-day road trip and some hot, steamy places. Overall, how do you feel about how the team performed?
I felt outstanding about it. Listen, I don't know if it's the absolute recipe. You go 500 on the road, and whatever. But you play 500 baseball on the road, you feel pretty good about it. Especially with the circumstances of the trip. I mentioned this after the game last night. I was as pleased about their performance the last two games of the road trip. And it's just more confirmation, but it's also good to see that our players, man, our guys absolutely balled out, man. They brought it. They were able to show up in some real tough circumstances, in a long road trip. The longest one of the season in some really tough circumstances. We talk about winners compete regardless of circumstances, and they showed up and absolutely got after yesterday, and it was a championship effort.
And it seemed like at the end of that trip, when things could have potentially gotten slopped or whatever, it seemed like you were playing some of your best baseball.
That's right, and that's an excellent point, and that is the point. It could have gotten a little sideways. It could have gone, hey, let's just get back to San Diego. Let's just get out of here. No, we're getting out of here winning some games. And the guys took care of business. I was really proud of them.
Pretty exciting to see Michael King out on the mound today. What can you tell us about his simulated game?
It was very encouraging. Very, very, very encouraging. I'm sure most of you saw it. You can form your own opinions, and everybody has the right to have them. You're asking me mine. I was extremely encouraged by it. It looked like Michael. We don't want to get too far down the road, but we are getting down the road. And the end of the road is back pitching for the Padres. And clearly that'd be a huge boost for the club, and Michael's excited. But watching today, the ball was coming out good, and changeup was good, and the secondary was there, and still, as you would expect after a multiple month hiatus from the mound, there's still a little bit of rust there. But as far as the ball coming out and the movements, and it also looked like he felt good. And that's the most important thing. It looked free, it looked easy, it didn't look apprehensive. So we saw a convicted athlete out there, and so it was a very encouraging day for Michael King and the Padres.
Yeah. Do you have a pitch count? How many pitches he threw this time?
I didn't get it. He went out for the third. We wanted to get 3 ups with him today, and I had other obligation to come in right when he started the third up, and I've been busy till now, so I don't know the exact number, but it was in a controlled environment, so I'm sure it was him and Ruben wanted.
Mike, what's your approach to a week like this when there's maybe a little bit more on some of the minds of some of your players with the trade deadline coming around?
Yeah, you know what? Our approach doesn't necessarily change. AJ's got more than his hands full, and he's the right man, and wouldn't have any other general manager in the business doing what we're doing. I'm thankful for that. As far as the players go, it's really just about business as usual, showing up, making sure everybody's positive and prepared, and enjoying the competition and being together. There's nobody that I'm aware of. there's a lot of stuff. I don't know how much, but my guess there's a lot of stuff out there for players, and he's going there, and the fact of the matter is, after doing this a long time, and our players especially know that a high percentage is completely unfounded and has not a lot of merit behind it. The wrap-up point is we just stay focused on what's the task at hand today, competing and looking to beat the Mets.
So what would you expect to see from Dylan Cease tonight?
Dylan's best version of himself. Dylan's been good. It's hard to say because he hasn't had as many results. We haven't scored for Dylan a ton. There's been 1 or 2 swings or situations that have bit him, and led to a number that, after 5 or 6 innings, he's sitting at 3 or 4 runs, and we just hadn't been able to, score 5 or 6, which would, help the cause. But I thought Dylan's stuff's been good. There's been multiple times, in the last several outings that I look up and he's been efficient. I go, okay. Because at least for me, I'm always kind of gauging where he's at and where the game's going, and I'm starting thinking, oh man, this guy's got 7 tonight, this guy's got 8 tonight. Heck, this guy's got no hit stuff tonight, and we're in the 3rd, no hit. And then you look up in the 5th, and a base hit or something happens, and then the guy puts a homer for hits a 2-run homer, and it's like the calculus changes. But I feel good about the way the ball's coming out overall.
You've seen Manny carry this team different stretches this season. What have you seen from him recently, especially that last stretch in St. Louis?
Yeah, I've just seen Manny just take what the game gives him. Manny's just been so consistent in his. I mean, he's got such a beautiful swing. It starts there. He's got such a repeatable swing as we continue to celebrate the milestones that are Manny Machado and be able to look and reflect on his career, look at some of the highlights. You look and you go, yep, that swing looks right. That's the same swing. That's the same swing. That's the same swing. You know, and so he's got such a nice, simple approach with this swing. He's got a good mental approach to it, and he's just getting balls on the plate and he's using the whole field, and that's really a recipe for a guy that's got exceptional talent.
Is Mike right here to start tomorrow?
We'll announce that after the game.
Mike, is there any concerns for Darvish? Is any physical concerns?
No, I mean, there are physical concerns. We would address them. We would do something to give him a little bit of a breather. But you know, we're going to be intentional about taking an extra day when we can get it for him or not. That's just, you know, we're really smart about that. It also helps some other guys. So it's not Darvish in a silo. It's, you know, bigger picture. And no, I mean, he's recovering well and feels good, and you know, looking forward to take the ball soon.
You say this an extra day here or there helps the other guy. Like after a trip like that one and the heat and all those guys, like does that factor into
Yes.
some of the decision making in the rotation?
Part of the season, coming off the trip, no days off, all of that is a factor. So we're on the All-Star break, always intentional about using both sides of it to be smart and create breaks so we can have guys fresh for the final stretch.
I'm sure you're in constant contact with AJ about every single trade rumor that's out there.
No, that's not AJ.
But do you expect Michael King to be your biggest post-deadline acquisition?
I can't speak to that. I mean, well, I'll let you know at the end of the All-Star, at the end of the trade deadline. And, you know, I am in contact with AJ. He's phenomenal, but I love the way we work together because, you know, I manage the club that he gives us, and I know he's working hard to always give us the best glove he can within the parameters he's been given. But yeah, I mean, Michael King comes back, whether we add and what we add, it's hard to say relative to Michael coming back, but, you know, it's going to be hard to expect anything better than Michael King.
I would imagine, just back to Darvish and getting the extra day, the fact that you have guys that have performed well and you can rely on plays a role in that as well, that you can go to those options?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a performance-based deal, and it's always the case, and it doesn't really waver in April or May, but it's clearly the case, you know, as we start to get into July, early August. So, you know, having guys that have been able to come up and confidently compete is definitely a part of the calculus as well.